So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen to this. This is Matthew Billy alongside my critique and partner in crime, Ricardo Medina.
Hello, hello, hello.
And this is another episode of BS Beats and Bailey. Right, so we have quite a few things to talk about here, few shows to discuss, if you will. First, we're going to talk about the return of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Yes, to television, along with Insecure Season 2, which I haven't jumped into as yet, but I'll wait for the whole season to end, and then I'll just binge it through like I did last year, and I'll review that.
Right.
But I have started Rick and Morty, so we can talk about that. Following that, we well, pretty much not really so much me, but Ricardo is going to share his thoughts on the newest Trinbagonian theatrical release.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm talking about the feature film, The Cutlass, one that
Right.
I've been looking forward to seeing on the big screen since it made its mark in last year's Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. I saw it, and I did two reviews of it. One on my Was the Scene show, the other one for Loop TT with fellow film critic Summerlee Polanyi.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on it, Ricardo, because I know you are kind of indifferent when it comes to Trinbagonian films. You're like,
Right,
well,
and I-
the
I give my reasons of why I don't necessarily have to support local film, and that's more generally personal. But I'm gonna air out that dirty laundry to a certain extent, right?
Right. I mean, not saying that you're not entitled to your opinion, of course.
No. But I get,
course.
you're supposed to have a kind of working bias.
Yes.
In a sense, but I'll get into that.
Right.
And it's not, my attitude is not, well, I'm totally impartial and no biases. No, I do want to support local film.
Of course. You're not being a hater, it's just...
Right, but I'm gonna get into why it is I've become very, very let's say, for lack of a better term, cold towards local film.
The thing is, I probably might agree with you in some way, shape, or form. I might totally support.
Yeah, no, but you know why I hated about it? I'll get into this with just general explanation. Is that all my suspicions, I was cynical going into it and thinking, all right, all my suspicions, what I thought about what was going on is more or less exactly what I thought was going on and worse. Anyway, we will get into that. Go ahead.
Right.
Right.
Also, I am going to talk about a Netflix show, which is based off of a comedy, which, believe it or not, I only got into since last week, actually, at the time of this recorded. So the show itself is called Wet Hot American Summer, 10 years later. So the movie I'm talking about is called Wet Hot American Summer. I've always heard about it, but I never got into it. So last week, I literally had to take like this crash course in all things Wet Hot American Summer. So I watched the movie. I watched the 8-episode prequel series, which came on Netflix a couple of years ago, called First Year Camp. And then I finally took in the latest, well, pretty much is a sequel to that prequel. Prequel series. So it's called Wet Hot American Summer, 10 years later.
Right, and this is what Paul Rudd, I think, was in it.
Yeah, Paul Rudd is in it, and some other familiar faces. But to me, that is what really made that movie so really good. Although, like I'll say this one time, like I love cult films. I love to check them out, and I love the uniqueness of it now. But the movie itself, to be honest, was kind of hard to get into, and I'll explain why later on. But the series, I felt really stepped up now. Like, it really got better from there in terms of it was the series did better what the movie tried to do so much years ago. So I'll talk about that.
I know it was a big cult film. Again, it's one of those films you just have to just get into, and if you like it, you like it. And
exactly, like a Rocky Horror Picture Show, which, believe it or not, I don't really care for. I get the appeal of it. I know.
And you totally understand why. You totally understand why it has its audience and what it but you yourself just
right. And also on the subject, well, stick with Netflix there. I'm going to talk about a movie that I stumbled upon a few days ago, actually. It's called The Incredible Jessica James. It's more like a romantic comedy / drama, and it stars Jessica Williams, who up until this time I knew nothing about. From what I read up, I know that she was part of the Daily Show and almost got a chance to host the show. But
we won't go that far, but a lot of fans,
people wanted, fans wanted.
A lot of people wanted her to take over from Jon Stewart. I don't think that would have probably worked out. Not sure. I frankly don't think the host right now is pretty good. I don't like him at all, actually, frankly.
I don't know. I just see the couple of promos with that guy. I was like, no.
Right. No, he's a decent enough. Like, he had a decent stand-up career before, and in many ways, his career is very similar to Jon Stewart before getting the show.
Right.
So it's to see if he go into the role, but I just don't think he just don't fit the material, not working for him in my opinion. But I don't know, whatever. To see if Jessica Jones, sorry.
No, you see, no,
Jessica Williams.
You say Jessica Jones here.
Yeah,
I was
Jessica
telling myself,
Williams.
I was telling myself that when I was watching the movie. Yeah, I was like, oh, Jessica Jones. It's like, no, it's Jessica James, played by Jessica Williams.
Right. So, Williams. I have no idea if she would have worked as a host herself. And the thing with hosts is that it would have been so goddamn stressful for such a young person. I doubt it would have worked out for her. I have no idea. Frankly, if it was up to me, I would have put Sambi in the role, but whatever. Sambi has her own show, so.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
and well, you could say Jon Stewart. Just a quick aside, Jon Stewart is kind of like the progenitor for a lot of these modern, talk show, comedy shows.
Yes.
Political critique kind of shows. Like, yes, the Daily Show wasn't the first to do what he's doing. Weekend Update, and you could go back even further. Shit like That Was the Week That Was.
Right.
Stuff like that. But yeah, the current paradigm of these, well, for the lack of a better term, almost all of them kind of anti-Trump, but basically just kind of politically left, generally politically left, somewhat social justice like, comedy shows.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them work, some of them not so good. Some of them go a little too far with the material and kind of thing. I'm looking at Colbert in particular, who just constantly, in my opinion, falling flat with most of his material. And
I honestly forgot he still has a show.
Yeah, especially his anti-Trump material. It's just kind of borderline cringy at this point. For me, the best of the lot is probably Seth Meyers. This stuff is genuinely, legitimately funny. And of course, John Oliver. I think he's still very funny to me, even though he fall flat a couple times.
Right.
Yeah, but no. So wait, we talk about Jessica James now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we still are at, and to close things off, we will be talking about what is, in my opinion, probably the funniest movie to come out for 2017.
Right.
And it's a shame that it's in August that we get this movie. I mean, we've had some comedies come and go, and they just never struck a chord with me, to be honest.
Right.
They just kind of fell flat, although technically all of them I kind of skipped out on, including one which you could say kind of resembles this film in particular, called Rough Night. And I wanted to see it, but I was like, I heard things about it. But this one I went in to check in, and so did Ricardo. I'm talking about Girls Trip.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I had a blast watching this movie. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So, just to get things out of the way, all right, we start off with TV. Rick and Morty, season 3.
Well, technically episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2. Yeah, because the whole, the episode 1 came out April Fool's, just out of the blue, I believe. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it was a fantastic April Fool's joke.
Yes,
just to see an anti-version of the April Fool's joke, because everybody was saying, well, no, don't be fooled by this April Fool's joke. And the show was actually going on. It's like, holy shit, this episode. It's a good trick.
Yeah, it was.
Very clever. Nobody expected it. And it was really, really well done. And yeah, that first episode was pretty badass.
Of course, yeah.
You get to see Rick escape from the prison, which was so goddamn funny. This second
That's how
episode
I got out of space prison.
Right.
I just love that line.
He keep making this bit about I gotta go take a shit.
Yeah.
That was hilarious to me. And he do the whole body mind switching thing, which was awesome.
Yeah, which was awesome.
But this second episode was great. So it's doing the whole Mad Max
thing.
Making fun of Mad Max, right?
Yeah, and just the universe of Mad Max itself. So what I like is that the reference, of course, the Thunderdome, the reference the Road Warrior with these characters with the hockey mask and the costumes on and stuff. They even have this nice little bit where Summer, I think that's her name, the sister, is asking one of them, like, why are you wearing this mask for? And then he goes into detail about his mustache and if he should shave it off. That was a really fun moment though. Yeah.
And overall, it was a pretty good episode. It had so many good jokes, so many good moments. Oh gosh, was he line at the end? When Jerry keep walking off and you hear the wind saying Lisa. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
I
hard.
like they didn't even question
Yeah.
who was saying it. Like
I
at
mean,
first
that's
I thought it was Rick saying it there. But then it's like in the end it's like we know it's not him because he saw place else and then you just hear
yeah,
loser. It's like
yeah,
what?
yeah.
But what I'm getting here because they keep hinting that this season gonna be pretty dark now.
Right,
I really like in its own Rick and Mortiness how the children and especially the mother is dealing with the divorce now. You
right,
know, well, in the case with Morty and Summer, they're just staying in this post-apocalyptic society because they
right,
much rather stay there than consider staying with their dad or staying for long periods of time with their mom here. That kind of thing.
right,
That's just how they're dealing with the divorce thing was really
right.
interesting. And on the subject of Morty, I love that sequence
The
where he
hand.
gets that arm. It's an
Yeah.
arm, right? Yeah, it's an arm.
Yeah, it's a revenge arm.
The revenge arm. Every
Yeah.
scene with the revenge arm just literally takes revenge is awesome. Even right down to the last man that he takes his revenge out on. I mean, yeah, that
Yeah.
was really dope. I love that.
I was cracking up is what cracking me up too is the how Rick finished off the fella at the end, and I was like,
Yes. It's like, yeah, we gotta keep this ourselves. Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs
you
to
know.
know. Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
overall solid episode for me. This show is it off to a good solid start. It's not no, it's I'll admit not as clever as the big opening episode in season 2, where that whole
Of course,
time
yeah,
split
yeah. I
thing.
don't think anything could top that.
Yeah,
That
that's like,
just
but
just just
yeah,
the
and that's
the
the kind of the problem with the show is that
insanity of that one episode though.
yeah, and that's one thing I kind of worried about the show is that it is a show that is burned bright, but it might burn fast now, and you're not sure if they'll keep up the level of space with it. So they have
Yeah.
probably had to slow things down, keep it on point. But I suspect this might be like what BoJack Horseman season 3 was, when he has funnier season 3 but better emotional stuff.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's what I suspect might be the case. So you'll see what they'll do with this, and that's the problem. They kind of cover all the sci-fi tropes already. Like I try to think of what other sci-fi tropes they're gonna bring into this.
No, I think
To
that
be
there's more
interesting.
they could do, or more movies that they could reference. You know,
Right.
I think
But
that
I wonder, like, what made it work is sci-fi tropes. They used to make fun of tropes,
yes,
right?
yes, I know.
Like general TV pop culture tropes. Like more, not just a particular reference, but just a general joke. Like the episode with the imaginary friend stuff. That just making fun of TV shows,
Yeah.
bringing the new characters out of the blue now,
Mhm.
right? Mr. Poopy Bottle character though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I would like to see how if they could get. The question is how meta they're going to try to get with this one. I'm not sure if they'll be able to pull it off. That's what I'm a little worried about. But that's about it.
Right.
Still pretty funny, pretty damn funny episode. Totally
Of course,
worth
yeah.
that great damn moments in it is. Yeah, but yeah, solid start to the season. And well, tonight at the time of this recording, we'll get our next episode. So
Yes, yes, for
episode
sure.
3.
Oh, and by the way, on the subject of that, I forgot to mention, we have Sharknado 5.
Right,
And for
which
the
I'm
first time in 5 years, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, okay.
Because if you guys, all right, so last year I covered Sharknado 4, and I absolutely hated it. It ended up being in my top 5 worst movies of
Yeah.
2016 list. And after that, I just vowed that I am not gonna watch any Sharknado movie ever again.
It's utterly shocking that
That the
you know you
franchise
can't
still
get.
going on.
No, well, not that, but it's just the idea of people who are talented at making bad movies. Like they can't pull that off. So they get lucky with the Sharknado. It's kind of like Birdemic 2.
Yes.
Birdemic 1 is genuinely funny and clever in its own right, even though they're trying hard to make it good. And then they realize, oh, we trying to laugh with you instead of being laughed at.
Right,
and
and that's
try
where
to be-
Birdemic 2 The Resurrection came out.
Right, and it
Well-
does end up being a complete mess by trying too hard.
Right.
I decided
well,
just leaving it.
Yeah,
Instead of
just
just
leaving it
leaving-
as
leaving
it
it
is,
as
as just
it
this
is,
dumb movie. Now, here's the thing, right? With Sharknado 2, which I actually liked. This, to me, the reason why I liked it is that it like, you could tell that the creators realized that, hey, we have a cult film in our hands. So let me just establish this cultness of it now. So let's just make this our Evil Dead 2 right now to having, the guy who plays Finn, whoever his name is. Finn or Ray? So yes, it's Finn, right? Yeah,
You know
no, I'm talking about Sharknado 2, being this kind of Ash Williams for our generation.
Right.
And then you have all these cameos, and everybody just kind of winking at the camera, like, "Hey, we're in on the joke."
Right.
Sometimes it kind of falls flat, but to me, it works. It worked in terms of just establishing this cult phenomena, and then
I-
3 and 4, it just just fell off the rails, and I
No,
just stopped
that's the
caring.
thing too, is that kind of trying to market. I don't know, is that kind of is an interesting kind of counterculture that reach a point, which it's nadir in a
Right.
sense, where you have just the idea of, well, French film call it nana, right?
Yes.
Just the idea of the bad movie, so bad it's good kind of thing, right? And that now reaches its tilt. So we're gonna it's time to start making back good movies again.
I agree.
So I
I
don't
agree.
know who. So who's these people who's still trying to milk the idea now? So the Sharknado 5 thing is like, all right, enough.
Enough.
You know?
Yes. Stop it.
Yeah,
I
enough.
don't want to know who making cameos here. I mean, the
Yeah,
last film we
the
had
whole
what
ironic cameo
yeah, we
stuff.
had
You know, it
Dog the
play. You know,
Bounty
it like
Hunter.
it remind me of is the same comedy trend like white people doing black things or saying black things. Remember that was a thing for a while.
You mean like in movies and thing, right?
A ton of shows, yeah.
Yes,
Like
yes, yes.
the old white Dublin dad or the old white woman saying "What's up, dog?" or trying
Yeah.
to sing a rap song. Like that shit was funny back in the early 2000s for a while, for like I don't know 2-3 years, and that was it. And then after that, it's like yeah, dumb, stop it.
Yeah,
Enough.
like back in '96 when not '96, '98 when Wedding Singer came on, and he had the old woman who was singing rappers. You're like, that was funny.
Right,
back
exactly.
then.
Right,
But
exactly.
not no. Sorry.
Yeah, people need to understand that comedy itself have a very short shelf life. It's just something that very, very prone to the zeitgeist, and you can't last that long. And people just think it's some kind of hard science formula, no? Like
Yeah.
you'll fuck it up.
But
And
I even think that the fans themselves done fed up with the show. It's like, oh yeah, we get we get another Sharknado movie. Okay, I've
right.
nothing else to watch this weekend. Why?
Yeah, the whole liking it ironic thing getting played out. I mean, time to grow up now. Getting a little ridiculous.
I agree. And it's sci-fi
then,
of all stations too.
but I think it makes money,
Jesus.
so you can't say that they didn't take. It's not like they had some big loss or anything like that. It was just this cheap bullshitty movie that that everybody liked, quote unquote, liked ironically, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, so you saw season 2, or you started watching season 2. Sorry, of Insecure. I haven't yet. I'm waiting for the whole season to wrap up, and then I'll just binge everything.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah, enjoying it so far. Pretty well done. They picked back up from more or less the events of the first season, which is just the big breakup, and they're making it work. And it's very, very funny. I think that Issa Rae does a really damn good job of the whole nervous awkwardness but genuine emotion aspect. She does that very, very well. And to have the character juggle emotions in that way, it's, in my opinion, quite well done.
Right.
They have a nice little side plot involving money and payment with one of the other characters, the lawyer Gil.
Yes, I forgot about it.
Right, and they're doing some stuff with that, and it's just some genuinely funny material. They do the comedy and the drama quite well, and it's quite well balanced. They make it work in terms of nervousness. Yeah, from within the first or second episode, you start feeling bad for characters already. Like they just have a whole arc going on right now. It's like, jeez, very brutal.
Wow.
There's emotional gut punches here and there.
Right.
And then they kind of address some of the like current political climate, because a lot of these shows design themselves thinking the political landscape would have gone one way. I suspect that's the case, and then it didn't. So they addressing a lot of that.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're making it work. And Issa Rae is still well talented, really good writer, in my opinion. Good. I think the dialogue is very, very good in this one, season 2. So hopefully this will pick up and be better than season 1. And it's so far shaping up to be, actually.
All right. Well, that's great to hear. I think it's because people more, when it comes to HBO, people more gravitate into Game of Thrones now. They forget that Insecure, and I think Ballers started back, which I need to. I haven't watched season 2 of Ballers yet. I need to recap season 1 because I enjoyed season 1 for what it was, but I think because it's HBO and because it's summertime, it's all about Game of Thrones now. You know what I mean? And Game of Thrones. I mean, oh gosh, I don't even need to talk about this. Going awesome so far. All your favorite characters finally meet each other for the first time. It's really cool, and you get any sense that things are winding down, but it's taking its time, and you're seeing things play out, and they do play out. Not so much how you would expect it to play out, but it makes sense in terms of the story of, in terms of the whole lore of Game of Thrones. Everything that pretty much happening now makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. All right, but between you and me and you guys out there, I am not the best person to do a review of Game of Thrones because there's just so much things in the stories itself. So for
Yeah.
me to just talk about a full season, I know there might be things that I would miss out on because I didn't go up on forums and read up on things and recap all seasons and read the books. Because I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? But
Right.
yeah, long story short, season 7 of Game of Thrones is going awesome so far. I am not watching that leaked episode. No, I'm gonna
Right.
do
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah. Right.
and
That
actually
that
just
makes it a
watch
drama.
that episode when it comes out
Yeah.
tonight at the time of this recording.
Yeah. That's a big drama, right? HBO got hacked, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
See, that's why people just can't get enough of Game of Thrones, boy. They just need to hack HBO to get that fixed, boy. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, so moving along from there, now we're gonna take a little detour to the homeland of Trinidad and Tobago, our country, Tisavdi. So we're gonna talk about the Cutlass, boy.
Right.
Right. I did, like I said at the beginning here, I did 2 reviews of it. First for my Was He Seen program, and next one for Loop TT's Loop at the Movies with Somali Pauline. And oh yes, and feel free to check out her YouTube channel because I know that she's gonna put out a review for the Cutlass. So check that out. But just a little brief thing about the movie. This film actually made its premiere last year at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. I wanted to see what it came out, but I was under the weather, so I didn't get to see it at all. But I heard real great things about it. It won 2 awards at the time of the festival itself. And I was like, okay, well, with all this great reception it got, it has to get some kind of theatrical release. Like the rest of the country have to see it at some point in time. And we finally got it. August 2nd is when the movie came out.
Right.
I checked it out on opening day itself, and I just did my review like straight after that. But I had my thoughts about it before because I actually got to see it before, but not during the festival, but just at another point in time. And for the most part, my thoughts on it are still the same. I think it is a pretty, or I should say, fairly decent film. It's it does have its flaws here or there, especially in terms of just the tension. I felt that there wasn't enough tension being built. But I was impressed by the performances by the 2 leads, Lisa Bell Hirschman and Arnold Goyhan. I thought that especially Arnold, I thought totally stole the show for me. I thought that the cameo by Conrad Paris was on point. I had very laughing at some points in time in it, but I actually liked it. And the story was pretty much standard, a little conventional, but I just felt that it could have been a little bit more, like something a little bit unpredictable now. But I understand that it is based on true events, so you can't really fabricate too much. But still, at the end of the day, it is essentially a thriller, drama/thriller. So I kind of felt like I should have been on the edge of my seat, kind of looking forward to see what happened next, But I gave it a very light 3.5 out of 5 stars. I still say it's worth checking out, especially on big screen because of the gorgeous cinematography, which is seen a lot. I don't know how long it's gonna be out there. If it managed to last more than 2 weeks, props to Cutlass for that. But I really think it's one that you should check out as soon as you can. But enough about my thoughts on the film. Ricardo, I just want to hear your honest opinion. And just right off the bat, I may actually agree with you to some point, but I just being fair, I think it is actually a decent effort. Not one to just throw away and be like, you should have done better. C+, boom. You know what I mean? But
right. I didn't hate this movie completely, but it almost all of it fell flat for me. That was kind of my big problem with it. It's just like, wait, there's this story, okay, that's it. And well, they only have one sequence that's supposedly well done, and that's the one that I remember you asked me the first thing when I saw it, which was, well, it's that kind of spoiler with rape scene, right?
Yes.
That's the only scene that kind of worked for the most part. It didn't make much sense because of how I forget the guy's name, the character's name, but he's so unstable.
Yeah.
And his instability didn't make much sense to me because I didn't have any context for it. No. Like they do some back explanation for the blade and what the blade have to do with anything, but overall it's like, this didn't flow at all in terms of the edit, and I couldn't get into the story in that way. Another thing too is that I was kind of explaining to you before we started recording. it was looking weird. Remember I said the movie was looking strange, and I was asking like what camera they use. Now these things shouldn't matter, but
Right.
because it was looking so strange, I was like, wait, why? And what I suspect happened is that they use like a no, this is not necessarily a nitpick per se, but yeah, kind of nitpicky. But they had like the like a, I think they were they using an anamorphic lens, and they could not adjust it properly according to the lens or the camera or the sensor or something. That's what I feel happened because it was looking wide, but in a weird kind of way. I didn't notice it the first time I seen it, but when seen it on big screen now, yeah, it looks kind of weird. And
Okay.
it just was bothering me throughout the entire movie. As I say, yeah, it's pretty standard. As I say, much better than Marsha Montano's movie,
For sure.
right? So
It,
you
it,
know
it,
that.
it actually has half a rating. I give it half of a rating more than that Basti actually.
Okay, now
Yeah.
this was much better than that. I mean, it at least had a proper arc and a proper resolution to its thing. And I had a big problem with what it did in Basel, especially with the third act. Now.
Oh boy.
That
Yeah.
completely ruined that movie for me.
Mm.
But this was at least had a decent arc and just did the story in a standard way. So yeah, I don't know. I give this. I want to give it a higher score, but again, we'll probably we had to go into a rant/tangent about why this I wouldn't really give local films a bigger score than they should. This gonna get a 5 out of 10, right?
Okay.
Maybe.
Halfway mark. All right.
Halfway,
Yeah.
5 out of 10. If I was a little more salty, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
4.5 out
You
of 10.
bastard.
But it's much better than David McCann's film as well.
Oh,
Better constructed.
oh gosh,
God Loves the Fighter.
Okay, I
It's
actually
better
give
than
that
that
a
as
4.
well. It's still because it's standardly better than that as well. But because everything just so fell flat for me, I didn't like how it was colored. You say the cinematography good? Nope. Sorry, didn't see that. I was
Dude,
quite.
those opening shots though.
What,
Although well, I'll talk about Cutlass still.
What
Although
the thing shots to the sky,
the drone shots.
drone shots. No, those drone shots was like so boring and standard. Nothing was interesting about them. You like those?
Okay,
It was just drone shots.
I
Like
know,
normal
but
drone shots.
I know, but it's drone shots of the Northern Range, drone shots
what?
of the
Right.
beach. Okay, I know they don't really, add a lot to the film,
Yeah.
but in terms of like establishing shots, I find it look good.
Yeah, alright. Okay. I feel say so. I was like, well, it's just a drone shot. Nothing was special about it. They wasn't doing anything with it. It's just to introduce the story. So I was
Yeah.
like, all right, it's kind of I suppose. But that's general coloring. I find like normal like just how it look in the camera. I still don't know what camera they use, but it looking. I think I was underwhelmed by the cinematography, frankly. You say I liked it, but I couldn't get into it. Acting was solid, as you say. It was all of that was fine. Again, it only really had two people. Conrad Paris threatening the guy for his money, which was quite silly and
I
hilarious.
know. 2 days.
But it worked.
I
But
want
it worked.
my money.
And then, as I say, the ending with again, when I say fell flat, a lot of the editing, like that final sequence when he was, when the police now come to him and they
Yeah,
pull-
I
pull the
felt
gun
that
and then
could
they
have
cut
been-
it.
Yeah, and they cut it now.
And they had
And
this
that was
real
in the
clumsy,
trailer itself. I was
right?
like,
And they had
come
this
on.
clumsy cut where they see the camera going up and the drone spinning. And I was like, all right, well, that's a kind of clumsy ass shot. All right.
Yeah, like I get what it was trying to do dramatically, but
But as you think, it was edited very sloppily.
Yeah.
That was the problem. It was well, I'd say sloppily necessarily, but clumsy. Not the best edit. You could have another run pass and have it flow a little better. No?
right.
So that's about it. I just couldn't get into this movie any way other people could. Yes, it wins by default. I'll give you that. It does win by default. It's one of those. It's I suppose I haven't seen every one of the movies from last year's film festival because I missed a couple. But yes, you say it was the best. You saw the others. So it's like, all right, whoever. It wins by default, I suppose. It's
Well,
not-
all right.
yeah.
I don't want to say best, but I think I got the most out of that than.
No,
the
yeah,
others, to be
exactly. No,
honest,
it's
yeah.
still it's still by all our working standards of what we consider good and bad in film. Lack of a better term, objective. It's still the best. I'll give
Yeah,
it that.
Like this is the one that I could like easily recommend people go
Right.
see.
I would
It's
say-
not
right,
like
exactly.
they have to feel as if they have to be, in a festival state of mind to understand.
No,
the
yeah,
films.
exactly.
Like
But
Play the Devil, for example. I mean, no offense. I
Right.
mean, it shot very well, but it just had this kind of artsy style to it. And then
Right,
the
exactly.
story,
With all our
I
proper
just
structure.
did not really care for at all. I felt that it didn't work.
Yeah.
kind of offensive as well. But that's all I'll say. I only saw the film once, but
Right.
yeah.
I know, but for me, like again, just comparing it to Marshall's film, Bazudi.
Yeah.
For me, Bazudi was just such a big letdown. And Bazudi would have probably get a 5 or maybe even a 6, if it didn't have that shitty goddamn third act. No?
Yeah.
I mean, the third act just totally undermined the rest of the movie. Just total nonsense for me. So, but with this, it didn't have any big drop off like that.
Yeah. Oh yes. One thing that well, this is like a kind of big criticism of local films. I was actually talking to a friend of mine today about that. He sees one thing that kind of sticks out to him: the kind of switching on and off of our local dialect.
Right.
Dialogue,
that is what it is. No. Okay. So
you saw that in one scene when you were at the beach,
yes.
and then it's like they just kind of flip the switch, so it sounds like they're kind of talking in a pseudo American freshwater Yankee accent.
I don't know what to call that term.
Like,
it's really come across like, okay, remember between England and back in the 40s, you had the transatlantic accent. I don't know what to call this accent, the trans-Caribbean sea accent. Wait, it is like you'd have this weird in-betweener that all reporters speak like. When they hear them in live person, they actually still talk like that. It's like, whoa, holy shit.
Oh, you mean it's like in news reports or something?
News reporters.
Like
when they hear them speak, local news reporters. And it clearly come from that old colonial paradigm.
Right.
Of how to speak and how to, old class structure stuff now. But that is, you're right about that. That's totally bottom, man. I remember when you were talking about this movie, famous British movie, the sequel to it. It's slipping my mind with Ewan McGregor.
Oh yeah, Trainspotting.
The
first film was so, like, they were so proud, like they just wanted to show Edinburgh now. So everybody sounded Scottish. It was so
exactly. And
like,
maybe you could do the same thing.
You
cater. You could cater. You could have. You don't have to be. That's the problem. I don't know. And we could probably get into this. Like it might be a bias in terms of culture and race or whatever it is. But the point is, you could cater to a Trinidadian accent without being this stupid weird trans. I don't know what to call it. I just call it the trans-Caribbean accent.
Yeah.
Because like, Israeli, they just be this weird hodgepodge of English.
Yeah, like this one particular line, right? Yeah, like actors down here too. Like this one particular line where
every actor, every news journalist is just speak like this. When like the radio personalities speak like it. And again, it's really like what the transatlantic accent was back in the 1940s and 50s now.
Yeah. Like this one particular scene in the Cutlass at the beach now where Lisa's character was talking to her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And like he says some kind of thing there, and then she's like, "You jerk." And I was like,
shit like that.
Who says that in Trinidad though?
Like,
who talks like that?
Nobody's talking like that.
But then you can make the argument because of, social status, but I don't want to believe that because even though the film touches on social status, because Arnold's character is like, well, you living up here, so you gotta be real rich, and she's like, well, not really, we don't really have that much money. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like that I understand.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird, but I just find personally that we should be proud of our accent. And, the excuse is always, but for a foreign audience. But
unless you highlight it. No, I get it. I get that because it's a foreign audience. You had to cater to so and so. But you're right about it. I agree with that point. As I said, the movie is you're right in the sense. I remember reading you're watching the review. You said it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Fine. So that I'll leave it at that. So it's time to move on. And hopefully we'll get some better stuff from this.
But that's the thing. I just hope that we could actually do better films than that. Like, I'll always use this analogy. Like in the 80s, right, when the horror films was started to get more outlandish and more gory and, scarier now.
Yeah.
It was always like every director kind of complimenting the previous film that came out and just stepping up the game.
Yeah. Let's kind of trial and error.
We take John Carpenter's thing and let me do something greater than that. Let me make Reanimator, and then from there let me make this.
Right.
So it's not like you're fighting on anybody. You're just taking what one man do, and you just keep stepping it up and making it better. So all the films. I mean, you could just put them like in a list, and you could choose which one is the better one. But all of them, in their own regard, are great films. Yeah. Because they just improved over what the last film did. I think that's what we need to do down here then. Not just keep making the same quote-unquote mediocre stuff again. Let's actually try to make better films.
But that's the sad part too, is that, we'll have to go through that stage. And again, one of the big problems with Trinidad, because of scalability, you're going to be up trouble now. As I always say, I just still kind of somewhat flabbergasted as why it is we couldn't get movies to the quality of, say, BIM, for example. Like,
Yeah.
I do consider BIM a genuinely good movie.
I think it is the best
Right,
Trinidadian movie
and
ever.
because of the working structure, how it's paced, you could tell, really like a genuine filmmaker is in charge of this.
Yeah.
And
at the time, because of just how, just the subject matter of it.
Right.
You could tell
Exactly.
it's something that the directors them
and the
they
sad
felt
part
they
is
had
that
to make now,
yeah, the unfortunate part is so goddamn long ago. I couldn't. It's just such. I mean, it's what 3 generations now. It
Yes,
from
it's in
since then.
mid-70s it came out.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And
Mid-70s.
the only other movie that had a quote unquote highish kind of quality, at least, but I've been a bit extravagant with the statement, is probably the Men and Grey franchise as well.
No, it's a good thing you mentioned that because well,
Part
for
two
those who
coming.
don't know, yeah, they're gonna re-release the second film,
Right.
the most popular of the two,
Right.
sorry, Flight to the Ibis. I believe it's next Friday,
Right.
at the time it's recorded. So the same day
Okay.
when Defenders is coming out,
Right, we could do
on Netflix. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna download it. Well, sorry, buy it actually, or whatever it is you call it. It's $6 you had to pay for it. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna do a review of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I
I'll probably make,
remember seeing the film on TV actually, because I remember
yeah.
way back when, because I'm old, when the movie was out in cinema and it was a big deal, but I didn't get
Yeah.
around to seeing it because I guess I was too young to really care at the time. But I
Right.
saw it on TV and I was like, oh, even though there's a lot of flaws in terms of more budgetary issues, I still felt it was entertaining. It was
Right.
cheesy, it was dumb, but
No, but
I
it
knew
was
what it
a
was trying to
product.
do.
Yeah, the total product at its time, and this
Of
is
course,
the,
because
again
the
the,
90s and action.
right,
flicks.
exactly. Because it was basically on the same level as something like Renegade or
Yeah, it was
as
more
I
like a Van Damme or Steven Seagal
exactly,
kind of
exactly. It was
vehicle.
pretty much on those levels. So it's not I just try to compare to what is considered the most popular, the best, maybe, blah blah blah, right? Again, this is to go back to issues in Trinidad. So when you start hearing all these disturbing stories of wait, Pirates of the Caribbean could I get filmed here and we could I get work with on that level, and then when you find out why that didn't happen, it's like, oh shit, you serious? Right? That's not a political shenanigans, right?
Yeah.
And so you're not. That's one of the reasons why it is I don't have any deference to local films, because it have too many people who should not be in power, right? Fucking things up for everybody else.
Yeah.
Sorry to say it, that's the situation, and we would have had a much better industry, even for our size, because of the where the location is, who could work here. This is supposed to be like what if you think of the working comparison, I like to think much like how people like to compare Trinidad to Singapore when it comes to economics. In terms of a film industry, we like to compare to Monaco, right?
Oh,
Monaco is a very, very small place, small
Uh-huh.
country, and a big surprisingly useful film industry. A lot of James Bond films got shot there.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
That is true. That's true.
A lot of stuff got shot there, and that's why we should be operating like, or maybe say something like Bahamas. Bahamas is a fantastic tourism industry, and
But you see, that's the thing, tourism industry.
right. No, but that should be part of it, and it's just people just massive an incredible amount of worked incompetence. What I mean by that is people who they're really damn good at maintaining power,
Right.
terrible at actually doing the actual purpose on their job, like really terrible. It's like holy crap. Like that is why we couldn't get this. That's why we couldn't get that. You serious?
Yeah.
It just kind of sad and unfortunate and kind of borderline heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
However,
another
I'll
thing
admit I don't have any skin in that game anymore. So
yeah, well, neither me. But
Exactly.
just another thing I just want to say, just to wrap up. The thing is, the thing that really, bugs me is that, okay, you make your film,
yeah,
you show it in your festival, people like it, you get your articles in the newspaper. Then what? Where's it
Right.
gonna go from here? Case in point,
Yeah,
we have Green Day's Ready River, which is going to open this year's film festival.
Right.
Okay,
So
you get your 2 screenings, all right. Everybody love it. You may get a theatrical release sometime next year. Cool, but
Right.
what about home media? What about DVD and
No, well, I
Blu-ray?
mean,
What about just for like longevity purposes? Now,
yeah,
That's
but
what
I
I'm
just talking about just working levels of exposure for a film at the
Right.
time, right? And again, if we had things running a little better, we would have probably have a lot of bigger movies being shot here, right? The biggest thing we did just a couple, which I thought wasn't half bad, the antibody thing, right?
Yeah.
Right, that wasn't so bad. It was funny to see a friend in a shot, the way it looks like she's a waitress, but she's not. Which was
Right.
That was funny to me to see that. It's like, hey, look, she did.
Yeah.
And it's like a really short and they cut it and it look real clumsy at times. I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny to me. Anyway, yeah, and I just kind of bothered by a lot of this. It's like, wait, it's just this maintenance of power, and again, is this race to the bottom almost now?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I keep saying the win by default stuff now. Yes, you win by default, but like does everything suffer? As a reference point now, because you have no talent, you're suppressing people who actually have talent. You're undermining money not going where they should.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because you assume they're going to do bad, like they're gonna mess up the
right.
film industry somehow by trying to be entertaining, trying to do something a little bit different, something that's not artsy. No disrespect to the art, to the art directors out there, but still, not everything had to be like that.
Well,
not everything had to be quote unquote film festival now.
No, but that's the thing. I mean, I don't mind. I don't really mind, but you could still put out a decent, structured product, and that's my problem.
Yeah.
It's just this really kind of half-assed kind of thing, and then this, as I say, the I don't know what the term, the nails sticking out get hammered down now.
Right.
You really get a sense of all of that occurring in these systems, especially in Trinidad now. I mean, it's happening in every big industry. I mean, just look at India and their film industry. There's like intense amount of pathology, right? But it's just so annoying and obnoxious to see this play out the way it does. And again, I'll admit I have no skin in the game on that level.
Yeah.
On that level in terms of like who thing. I went to like a couple meetings. You went to a couple meetings. That's it.
Yeah.
You're not part of that anymore. In any workable way. I have my own route. At most, I'll probably put my film in my film festival whenever next year. Blah blah blah. But that's about it. I don't follow all the drama, and I don't follow all of the, why things play out. You think as of now, I just found out that stuff years ago. Not gonna say things on air because that's like just goddamn rude and annoying.
Exactly.
But you see the whole win by default thing. That is not a compliment necessarily, especially given what you know.
I agree.
Right?
I totally agree.
Rant over.
All right.
That's important.
Yes. So let's move on with life. Let's move on to some comedies. Yeah. So why not?
Yeah.
So I am going to start things off with Wet Hot American Summer 10 years later.
Okay.
So this is a sequel to both the 2001 film Wet Hot American Summer and the prequel TV show which came out on Netflix 2 years ago called Wet Hot American Summer First Day of Camp. Now, like I said before going into this, I never saw the original film. I know of its cult status and thing, and I'm a connoisseur when it comes to cult movies, but this was one that I never saw. And the reason being is because of the kind of satirical review that Roger Ebert gave it, where he pretty much took this old like 50s song and kind of twisted it around and say that the movie itself was terrible, and even though it had great actors, the movie kind of sucked. And the thing is that the movie itself was a critical and commercial failure. But as with most cult films, they have this following that follows after that. I think the reason being is because of the characters in the film. Because for one thing, this movie came out in 2001, and there's like so much familiar faces. Some of them I saw once or twice in shows before. Some you probably know from watching series themselves. And there's some faces that I wouldn't even know about. But you was like, yeah, I know this person now. So in that film alone, we had Janine Garofalo. We had David Hyde Pierce. We had Molly Shannon. We had Paul Rudd, who I think is the funniest character in that whole movie, by the way.
Yeah.
We have Michael Ian Black. Last time I saw him was in those VH1 I Love the 80s shows. We have McGill, Amy Powler. We have Bradley Cooper. I didn't even recognize him in this movie. We have H. John Benjamin's voice. You know what I mean? I'll talk about the voice thing. We have Elizabeth Banks. We have Kevin Sussman. You know what I mean? There's just so much familiar faces in this one film. And I could just tell that, like, I'm not knowledgeable in all of their filmographies, but I could tell that, most of them pretty much had their big break with this movie. Or if not, they were doing work before and they just happened to get their shine through this movie, like, with truly cult following, and then they just managed to move on and star in bigger and better movies and TV shows,
Yeah.
But I think it's just really the familiar faces and the characters that make this movie work. And to me, just watching it, I would just say this right off the bat. Personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of this movie. like I get what you're trying to do. So essentially, the film is trying to do a kind of do the writing scenario where the whole film takes place in one day. So in this case, it's at the summer camp, and in 1981, and it's just like the last day of the summer camp itself. Camp Firewood, that's the name of it. So we've seen all these characters, and the majority of them pretty much run the summer camp itself. So we have the kids in them, and the kids doing what kids supposed to be doing at camp. They're being taught how to do certain things, yada yada. You know how stuff, shit does go down in those American camps anyway, right?
Right.
But the film really is supposed to kind of satirize those 80s summer camp films. One popular one in particular being Meatballs, which came out in 1979, right?
Yeah.
So that ages ago, I can't even remember. I remember there was this real out of time and rap song in it. That's all I can remember from it. But
Was that
that
it's probably another
balls.
movie, but you only out the time in rap.
Meatballs. Yeah, it's
Right.
real weird, But even that at all is a cult classic, right? But this particular film kind of makes fun of those tropes there. So yes, of course you're gonna have a lot of sexual content in it. All of them, most majority of them, either in a relationship or they want to get laid, and it's about trying to find this girl or trying to find the right man or the right woman to have sex with, and all these things that you've seen. It's been a staple of 80s comedies though, or let me just say late 70s comedies since shows like Animal House and Porky's and those kind of things, But to me,
Right.
the issue with the movie itself is that for its 97-minute run time, there was just too much characters. There was so much characters going on, doing this, that, and the third, and half the time you're just like, why should I care? Why should I care about these characters? Yes, I like Amy Poehler. Yes, I like Bradley Cooper. Yes, I'm familiar with Michael Ian Black, but you're not given enough time to really like or care about these characters. And, most of the times the jokes themselves I fell flat. Um, but one thing that like I give the movie itself credit for what it was trying to do is this kind of absurd, this kind of comedy. So it reminds me a lot like how Community is. Community, the TV show, though, right?
Yeah.
Where you have familiar characters, familiar faces, but then you have these one or two kind of weird characters like your Ahmed and Troy and who it is, boy Starburns, and those kind of characters, though. And then you have all these weird scenarios that take place, and you do see that in the movie, but oftentimes, like especially in the third act, which to me just makes absolutely no sense at all. Like I see why it's funny, quote unquote, but to me it's like, yeah, this is just borderline obnoxious and just lame and just not caring for this at all. Um but for what's worth, it still become a cult classic. I'm not surprised, like I say, it's because of the characters and the actors involved there. So there we had first day of camp, sorry, which was this Netflix prequel, well, a spin-off series, if you will. And this one wisely chose to focus on the first day of that summer camp, right? Hence the title. So the running joke, although I like the fact that they didn't play on it too much, but the running joke here is that all the actors from the original film show back up here in this
Right.
prequel. But the thing is that yes, they are older. They are in their 40s, like Amy Poehler, for example.
Right. So
Some
they're
of them in
playing
their
older
30s.
people.
But yeah, no, but in the original film, with the exception of say Garofalo's character, the majority of the characters were like teenagers though, or like close to 18 years older. So seeing them here now in this movie, it's the same actors playing younger versions of themselves and making fun of that. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I thought that was pretty clever.
Right.
That was fun. I get that. But what I really enjoyed about this particular spin-off series here is that we got time to really understand the characters. They really develop the characters a lot more. We see a couple of new characters. Some of them I didn't even pick up on because I wasn't really familiar with the voice or whatever. Like for example, H. John Benjamin, who who was in well, of course we know him from Archer.
Archer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers.
Yes, and Bob's Burgers, of course. So he was playing the character of Mitch, but in the original film, just bear with me here. He plays a can of mixed vegetables. That's the name of his character,
Okay.
which is exactly what it is. It's a talking can of mixed vegetables. And in the original film, it made no sense to me. It was just like there for being their sake. But in this prequel series, we understand how he became like that. Essentially, it's some people were dumping toxic waste. He just happened to fall awkwardly, and they will make fun of that. Like how he happened to slip and fall into this, pool of toxic waste, and he was holding on to this can of this can of mixed vegetables, and somehow he became that. So he started to talk through it. So that was like the running gag there, basically. But at least it made sense here, where we kind of understand how he became this way, right? Um, we see the development. The relationships between certain characters develop. Like case in point, we see Michael Ian Black's and Bradley Cooper's characters, who are revealed in the original movie to be gay, and they actually
Okay.
got married in the film now, on the same day now, before they left.
Right.
Right. So Bradley Cooper, who plays Ben, was originally, I wouldn't say Amy Poehler, boyfriend, but they used to work together though, because they used to be part of like essentially this theater group, this theater duo. So like on the opening and the closing nights, they used to have like this talent show, and they were the people who were involved. And then later on in the series, Amy realizes that hey, Bradley is actually gay, and he actually is in love with Michael Ian Black's character, right? Um, we have Janine Garofalo's character who plays Beth. She pretty much is the one who runs the whole camp. And in the movie, there was this whole relationship, this love thing that she had with this scientist fella. This science professor, and they actually developed that a little bit more. We see Elizabeth Banks' character developed a lot more as well too. We actually learn that she is not actually a teenager who just happened to be um, who just happened to be working with these guys. She was actually a reporter working for this news station, this newspaper station actually, and she just happened to, like, she was hearing just stuff about summer camp life, and she went there, so she somehow become part of that crowd now. But she just pretty much just doing a news report, if you will, like this investigative story, if you will, right? And there's all
Right.
these other things, that all these other characters, I think, that I wouldn't get into. We get some cameos here or there. Michael Cera was there. Great performance by him. Chris Pine was in there. He was really hilarious. He was playing like this reclusive rock and roll star. And there's all these different things. We even had freaking Ronald Reagan in it. He was the bad guy. So, all this kind of weird stuff that was going on. But I liked how it kind of embraced its weird humor.
Right.
And like I say, if you're familiar with shows like, say, like Community itself, which has its own kind of unique brand of humor, then you will actually understand where they're coming from here with this. But what I really like is that they really do poke fun at particular tropes that you see in 80s film. But like case in point, there's this scene where this character is running after this other character, and they're running through the woods, and you could tell that they're poking fun at, say, slasher films, for example, where you always have the girl running, and then they slip and they fall and they heel bust and all these kind of things. You've seen that before. But really, the genre that they poke fun of the most with, overall with the series here, is romantic comedies and soap operas to an extent. So you always have these situations where characters in love, and then some character would cheat on somebody else, and it's like, I thought you loved me, and slap over the face, and it's
Right.
all these kind of soap opera stuff, though, all these kind of 80s cheesy stuff that they really poke fun of the most here. And I felt that they did it even better in the series here, in this prequel series here, because they have more time to develop the characters, more time to show their flaws and their quirks, and everybody pretty much have flaws and quirks. And I felt that the comedy landed more in the series here, because essentially you have more time to play with these characters now, instead of 97 minutes in a movie and then you trying to stuff so much things inside. Of course, it's not
Right.
gonna work, right? Oh yeah, so I forgot. Even Kristen Wiig was in it as well too.
Yeah, Kirsten,
Yeah,
yeah.
funny as hell in this thing too. Um, but still, I kind of felt that I don't know. It didn't quite make me laugh as much as I expected it to. It's kind of dragged at times. It was kind of dull at times, kind of boring at times. The funny thing is, like, I kind of binged it on a rainy day, you know, so like it's not like I had the heat from outside to keep my eyes open. So oftentimes I was just kind of drifting off. I was just bored by it,
Yeah.
you know. But overall, the first day of camp was good, not great. Fortunately, though, 10 years later, actually was way better than both the prequel and the movie, and that is saying a lot.
Right.
And one reason how it actually turned out to be so much better is that they got rid of the whole 80s nostalgia vibe and they opted to go for 10 years later, hence the title. So now we're in 1991 and now the characters have gotten 10 years older. I mean, yes, they are still old, you know, because remember the prequel was made like what, 2 years ago. So they still kind of play off the fact that yes, I'm 26 years old, but I still look the way how I did in the prequel series, you know. So that was kind of funny. It's just that they had some 90s hairdo and some wigs thrown in to make them look 90s. Of course, some nice costume design here there, you know. Um,
Right.
but essentially, it's just that everybody has moved on, but Janine's character, Beth, once again decides to have this 10-year reunion because they promised at the very end of the prequel series that they were going to meet back up 10 years later and see how everyone's doing, you know. And they do that. They actually come, and they actually come on the last day of some of that particular day of summer. Well, sorry, the summer camp actually. So it does kind of play out the way how the prequel did and how the original movie did. But here, because they are older and they're dealing with real life, of course. So, of course, trying to maintain a job. I
Yeah.
married this person. I am seeing this person a long while, but I want to get back to this person. It didn't work out back in 81, but I want to see if I could try again. Those kind of things you see here. You know, I'm not going to get into all the characters and what they did, but essentially, everyone has gotten older. Everyone pretty much, their lives pretty much has turned out the way you would expect them to. I keep forgetting Paul Rudd's character because essentially he is the, I don't want to call him the class clown, but he is that type of character. He is the asshole. But it's just that he just comes with these kind of out of timing lines. And it's like every time he's there, you can tell he just desires attention. I love what they did with his character here, where he comes back and he thinks, well, yeah, I'm the king of summer camp for 10 years. And now we have somebody younger who take that spot. And they have this battle, this race, if you will, this competition between the two of them, and spoiler alert, Paul Rudd loses, you know, and you know it kind of hits him hard because, you know, it kind of shows that yes, these characters are older now. You're not gonna, even if you try to recapture that spirit, that nostalgia from before, it's not really gonna hold up to really to anything at the end of the day because yeah, you're older, and you have to move on. And compared to other shows that touch on nostalgia a lot, especially from Netflix, I felt that this one really touched on nostalgia pretty well as well. You know, it's not like, oh, we're gonna go back and we're gonna be our youthful selves anymore. It's like we older now, and we kind of understand how life is now. We're not gonna recapture that magic, but you know, let's try to enjoy ourselves the best way that we can. So Bradley Cooper, who was in the movie and in the first day of camp,
Right.
wasn't in this series here because of scheduling conflicts. I assume
Right.
it's
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's doing the you know the
He's a huge
Galaxy
star.
stuff and thing, and he's a huge star, so he don't need
Yeah.
to go to small
Yeah.
time Netflix. Nah, man, nah.
He too big.
So, he too big. So they got Adam Scott to take his role now.
Adam
Um,
Scott. Adam Scott is
but yes, he is from Parks and Recreation. He was Amy
okay.
Poehler's love interest. Well,
Right.
kind of soon to be love interest because you know they kind of got together in the last couple of seasons, anyway. So yeah. And here, like I say, he plays. Well, he's still playing. Well, now he plays. He's still the husband to Michael Ian Black's character.
Right.
Um, but what I like here with those characters is that they actually have a baby, a daughter,
Right.
and they hire this nanny to take care of the baby, and even bring the nanny over to the summer camp to take care of the child. Because remember, it's everything is set in one day. That's the whole gimmick. Everything
Right.
is set in a day, right?
Right.
So this particular nanny is played by none other than Alyssa Milano.
Okay.
And I was like, holy shit. Alyssa Milano, though.
Yeah, she's
And
like
she still looks
she's
fine
queen of
as
the.
ever, but I was like, wow. I haven't seen her in ages, though, you know?
Yeah, the last time I was what she was in that I like were freaking Charmed or something like that.
Yeah, but Charm was back in like, what, the 2000s, shit, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's a while back.
Yeah. And they have this nice little thing where they were playing off of the Psycho Nanny. You know, that kind of, like, if you're familiar with films like, not so much Fatal Attraction, but like the hand that rocks the cradle and single
Right.
white female, that kind of trope now where, oh, it's too good to be true, look at how she's taking care of the kid, but the
She's
thing
too
is that,
perfect.
yeah, she's too perfect, she want to kill you off, she want to kill off the wife, if you will, and steal the husband. So they play
Yeah, that's
off
a
of that
weird
very
shit.
well. And just the fact that there's a gay couple make it even more hilarious. um I like the story with Amy Poehler's character, where she is trying to make it big in Hollywood. She wants to make it big as an actress, and she's even dating this up and coming actor played by none other than freaking Jai Courtney. I was like, what? Jai
Right.
Courtney, though, Captain Boomerang himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's this little subplot with them, but I'm not gonna spoil that. But essentially, the same things that the movie and the TV the previous show covered, where you have these group of characters, and they were in love before, but it didn't work out, and then 10 years later, they either married or they engaged or this or that, and then they come back and those feelings spring back up again. You know, it's that kind of thing now. But just the way how they play the whole nostalgia thing, because it's the 90s now and you can't really relive the 80s that much. You know, I thought that they did that very well. The acting all across the board was on point. I felt that the jokes landed more here. um, they work better here than I felt that they did in the prequel, where it felt like they were just riding off of what made the movie work. In this one here, you could tell that they were trying to do something a little bit different just by updating the formula, just by shifting the time period. I felt that it added a lot, and because you know the flaws and just the quirkiness of all these characters, seeing them again 10 years later, and you could tell that not things haven't really quite changed for a majority of them, makes it a little bit, makes it more entertaining as well. um but yeah, but overall I would say this one is actually surprised me. Like, this one, I didn't expect this one to be actually better than the prequel that we got before, but it actually turned out to be very well, you know what I mean? And it's just simple updating the formula, like I said, making these characters older, a lot wiser, really seeing how these characters grew up in that space of 10 years, but
Yeah.
still giving us that kind of weird, kind of self-referential, satirical kind of humor. That absurdist humor that made the original one such a cult classic. But making it a little bit more. Yeah, it's just the. Alright, the best way to describe it is that in the movie itself, like, you could tell they were trying to be self-referential, but most times you didn't really pick up on what they were trying to make fun of. It just almost felt like they were just doing all these absurd things for the sake of being absurd. And in the prequel, they were starting to try to be self-referential, but it oftentimes it worked. Few times it didn't. But here I felt that for the majority of for a majority of the series itself, that's when that self-referential humor worked. And I felt that it just resulted in a much better season, if you will. And I'll just say this finally before I get to rating. I the way how it ends, just slight spoiler, it ends in such a way that this could be the end of this whole Wet Hot American Summer franchise. But I
Right.
have a sneaky suspicion that they may, do another series based off of that. I'm not saying they're
Right.
gonna be in 2001 now. I don't know, but I see the
Well, yeah. I
potential
mean,
for more
yeah. Well,
episodes.
you're doing the whole history as we see it kind of stuff for your Wonder Years and
Yeah, that kind of
Halt
thing.
and Catch Fire. Like my favorite show are doing that.
Yeah,
There's time passing.
right, exactly.
Right.
So for me, I was thoroughly entertained by this. I didn't expect to enjoy this as much as I did the last season. But yeah, this one was a step up. I think this is the best in terms of this whole Wet Hot American Summer franchise. I would give this a decent 3.5 out of 5 stars. It is worth checking out. But I would recommend, if you're new to this, you have to see the movie first. Don't start off with the prequel, because you'll see the prequel and then you'll be disappointed by the movie because of how the movie turned out. I mean, I'm not saying the movie is terrible, but yeah, I see why it was a commercial flop. But the cult status of it is granted, though, is warranted, I should say.
Yeah.
But I'll recommend you see the movie first, then you watch the prequel, and then jump into this one, and you'll have fun, you know?
Right.
Right. So, moving from that to another Netflix, movie, I should say, called The Incredible Jessica James.
Okay.
Yeah, I
was meaning to watch this, and I kind of made the running joke of, well, I could only have time for one, black.
Yeah, only one movie
black funny female
with black funny females. Yeah.
Millennial.
Because too much is bad for you.
Yeah, I only have time for one.
Well, in this
so
case,
I pick Isari.
Yeah, well, in this case, or you mean comparing to Insecure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I pick Isari over Jessica Williams.
Right. So I'll just run through the plot briefly. So Jessica James, not to be confused with Netflix's Jessica Jones, it's played by Weigel, stars Jessica Williams, who is a African American woman. And from what you told me, well, like I say, going into this film, I knew nothing about her. It's just I read up a little bit on her and about her Daily Show days. She's still on Daily Show, or she's not on Daily Show anymore?
No. I think she left. I have to check that.
Okay.
I'll admit I haven't watched it in a while.
Right. Well, me, I kind of stopped watching long before Jon Stewart was about to quit the show or leave the show, I should say. Yeah, I stopped long time.
Right. I'll say because I'll say the other shows take over from this show. So right now, probably my favorite of the leftist comedy shows, talking head comedy shows, fake news shows, is probably Seth Meyers. His show, I think, is quite good. Seth Meyers' style, I think he kind of covers it almost, and then probably John Oliver still.
Right.
But yeah, the show did just get weaker for me. I'd really don't watch it. The material weaker overall. I mean, not bad. It have its moments, but a lot of it just falling flat, I think.
Right. All right. So essentially, so the character of Jessica James, she's into theater. She's trying to get, pretty much trying to get her plays sold, if you will, to become plays. But she always gets like all these rejection letters and stuff now. And there's one great scene where on her wall it's like split in two. So she has rejection letters on one side, and the other side she has like all these nice little photos and stuff, and some nice drawings and things, because she does teach this class, this theater class for like young students, if you will. And she's so charismatic here that she's just teaching them about how amazing theater is and acting and all that kind of stuff. But in this film here, she's introduced basically that she's getting over this failed relationship with her ex-boyfriend Damon, who's played by Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah,
who
boy.
Last time I saw him was playing Snoop Dogg in Straight Outta Compton, and yes, he was in Atlanta. I loved his performance in that film as well.
Well, he coming up in the very controversial role as L. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Just similar to Issa Rae's character in Insecure, she is very independent. She's brutally honest. Like, she would go on dates, like she will go like on these Tinder dates, and if she's just not feeling any connection, she would just tell the guy right off, yeah, I just not really feeling anything, I just offended by you right now. Let me just leave. She's just that type of person, right? But at the same time, she is kind of insecure now, especially with, in terms of just her dated life. She feels as if like she can't really move on properly from breaking up with Damon, And there are moments where she, even from the beginning of the film, where she tries to link up with other guys, to date other guys, and she just not feeling anything until her best friend Tasha, played by Noelle Wells,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
That's good people in this one.
yeah, good people, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
sets her up with this blind date with this guy, his name is Boone, played by Chris O'Dowd.
Right. I'm not. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Chris
know I've
O'Dowd
seen him
solid.
before in another show. Um,
Right.
yeah, and I was like trying to pick up on the accent. Like I know it's not like as kind of British, if you will. Yes, Irish. Yes, yes, yes. He has this kind of Irish kind of
No. Yeah. Yeah.
accent.
Chris O'Dowd is. Well, the last movie I saw him in was, oh gosh, Miss Peregrine's Home for Imaginary
Or
something.
peculiar children. He was in that.
Right. Yeah. I think he was in that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. Well, it's solid. It's solid business. I love her from SNL. She's really, really funny in that. Well, I don't know in anything else. So.
Yeah. Well, neither me.
But yeah.
I thought she was like really, really charismatic and so
I
funny
think
in
she
this
was.
stuff. So
She was in Master of
lively.
None as well, right?
She was in what?
Master of None. Was she in that?
Um.
Trying to think if she was.
Yes, dude. She
Yeah.
was racial though. Like you see, yes, because like it now hit my guys. Yes, she was racial. She was Aziz's ex girlfriend from the series. Yeah, right. So she fortunately she kind of hits it off with Boone, because he was married for like 8 years, I believe it was, to this girl who is called Mandy Moore, not to be confused with the real life Mandy Moore, but that's her name.
Right.
But the thing is that he wants to move on. He really wants to start this relationship with Jessica, and he's really attracted by her. But the thing is that it was a marriage. That's the thing. It's to leave a marriage and then just suddenly jump into dating. It's different compared to just being in this relationship and then it just didn't work. It's different. But the film doesn't really. I mean, like on the one hand, it touches on their relationship, but it's really about Jessica herself. Just try to figure out her way in life. So for one thing, she wants to pursue a career in theater, but she's doubtful. She doesn't know if this is the right career choice for her. She wants to know how she's gonna make a steady income from this, because she's barely making much from just doing this theater class. And she doubts herself. There's this one scene where she goes by her sister, who already pregnant as well, and it's like, well, my sister's pregnant, what about me, that kind of thing there. And it's just really about her just growing and just developing as a person, as being more independent than she claims that she is. Right, so let's jump into the review here one time. So right off the bat, the best thing about this movie is Jessica Williams. Every time that this woman is on screen, she just commands it. She just owns every scene that she is. She's just so likable and charming and charismatic and beautiful as well. You know what I mean? Like every time she's there,
She was.
like,
She was. It have a handful of these. The idea of whether or not women could be funny and whether or not black women could be funny. That whole thing.
Yeah.
And she's one of those that genuinely funny in my opinion. Very attractive, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I still prefer Issa Rae over her, but
yeah.
She's still I really like her. She's great in the Daily Show. She was great in the Daily Show. Yeah, she has left the Daily Show I think about a year now.
Okay.
I just did a little quick Googling search while you were talking.
Right. So there's like absolutely no way you could hate Jessica Williams in this show, but oh my god. There's this one opening scene. Sorry, the title sequence, the opening title sequence alone is reason enough to see the show. Is where she starts off getting off of her bed, and there's just like this real funky song playing, right? This instrumental playing. And she just dancing from the apartment, then going on the apartment roof and just dancing. And like what I like how, with that sequence alone is that establishes that she has this kind of awkward way of dancing. Like she's not dancing like in this perfect kind of way there. She's just being herself. She's being a little wild, she's being a little crazy, but she's just being herself, you know what I mean? And that to me kind of expresses who she is. She's not afraid to say what she thinks or how she feels. She just wants to feel comfortable inside her own body there, even though the world might give her the assumption that something's kind of off with you, you know what I mean? And you see that really with the relationship between her and Boone, where oftentimes she kind of rushes it, she kind of kisses him, that's out of the blue, and it's like, okay, just kind of dial it back a little bit, but because of her character, you kind of understand why she's doing this. So at the end of the day, this is a character study of her. She's this aspiring playwright. She just wants to make it big, and she just wants to have this great life. But it's just her trying to figure things out, particularly in terms of love. There are a few moments, sorry, where we see through some really offbeat dream sequences where she runs into Demon as like, what are you doing here? I told you I don't want to see you anymore. And then it's like Demon is like, like I want to make him, I want to, like, and either he would say he wants to get back with her, or it's like I don't, what, I just don't think it's gonna work out there.
Right.
That kind of thing. There, she's always kind of struggling to kind of figure out if it was the right thing that. Well, yes. By the way, she broke it off with him there, so she's always wondering if that was the right thing or if she made the right decision or not. Um, Another thing that they do pretty well is touch on how similar to season 2 of Master of None, dating in in this social media age. So
Right.
this is one scene where both Jessica and Boone decide, okay, we don't want to be stalking our exes through Instagram, so let's just so Boone is gonna stalk Jessica's ex and vice versa through Instagram. So they join the Instagram pages and they just like looking through all the stuff that their respective exes putting out there. And
Right.
just how they do that was pretty interesting as well. And of course, they talk about Tinder and just finding the compatible boyfriend or girlfriend through that. So it's very modern in that kind of sense, and that's another thing that I really loved about this show. It feels very modern, feels very in time, very much in tune with what's going on today. How relationships work today, how characters move and interact with each other. It feels natural. It feels 2017 to me. Uh, when it comes to drawbacks, I would say the one drawback I could say is that I wish that, I mean, the film is fairly short, like ridiculously short, like 83 minutes long. I felt that there could have been a little bit more time. They could have given the film let's to kind of even things off to like a 90 or a little bit more, you know. But I felt with the runtime, they did pretty much enough to establish this character and why you should really like this character here.
Right.
It's even to the point that I wish personally we could get a series out of this, and the way how the series ends, similar in a sense to how Master of None season 1 ends. That's the only spoiler I'll give here. It
Okay.
feels like there is potential for more, and I really would love to see a little spin-off series, not a movie, guys, but like a spin-off series based off of this particular character here. But yeah, for what it's worth, for what it's worth, I think this is a very, very, very entertaining, a very heartfelt film as well too. This one
Right.
actually surprised me. I did not expect to really enjoy this film as much as I wanted to. I thought it was just gonna be some kind of run of the mill kind of comedy drama about trying to survive in the social media age and all that kind of stuff. But I got more out of it, and that's really because of Jessica Williams and just how incredibly awesome she is. Uh, I really want to see her in more films. Like I say, I would love to see a spin off of this. First, I love a character so much. I did not expect to really feel that way about a character, especially from somebody that I'm not familiar to in terms of character and the performer, right? So yeah, I would give this a strong 3.5 to a light 4 out of 5 stars. I think this is one you should definitely check out. It's on Netflix right now, so check it out. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna love Jessica James. I don't know. I just there's no way there's no way I could see anybody walking out of this saying, yeah, I just hate her. I don't care about her at all. Unless you just generally don't like romantic comedies or comedy dramas, then
Right.
you wouldn't care for this one. But if you if you just want to see a great film with a great African American actress, I want to say great. I mean, like I see her being starring in other great films. Whether it's on Netflix, whether it's small screen or big screen, I just really can't wait to see what she does next. Then yeah, you're gonna have a blast with the incredible Jessica James.
Cool.
And finally, we are going to get to, believe it or not, the first comedy that I saw on big screen in 2017.
Yeah.
Girls
That's
Trip.
actually
Yeah,
right.
because when I was gearing up to see Rough Night, which came out like a few months ago, I was hearing the blowback. I was like, story was really all that, despite the great actresses involved. I was like, we're not gonna get a new comedy. You're not gonna get a great comedy, in 2017. What's going on? And then I was hearing
Right.
great things about Girls Trip because at first I wrote this film off. I was just like, all right, I know. I mean, I love Regina Hall. I love Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith. I never saw Tiffany Haddish in the show. I'll talk about her in a bit.
Yeah.
But I kind of wrote it off there. Then I heard the great reviews that came out of this. When a lot of people say it's probably the best comedy of 2017 so far. But before I get into my thoughts about it, Ricardo, I just want to fill us in on what the premise for Girls Trip is.
Right. So it's basically four friends. They come up in the early to mid 90s in college, and they kind of always life really kind of get in the way. All of them. Jada Pinkett's character became a mom. Queen Latifah became like a she was supposed to be a press person, like a proper journalist, but she ended up becoming one of them tabloid types.
Exactly. Always
Yeah.
searching for gossip
Right.
through social
Yeah,
media.
yeah,
And stuff,
basically a gossip rag type,
Yeah.
TMZ type individual for the internet age especially. Then oh god, I forget she named the big actress. She became this big Oprah-like figure in the world.
Right. Regina Hall.
Regina Hall, right?
Yeah.
And then the last girl, I'm not sure what her career is, but she's kind of a bummish, kind of crazy person type figure.
Yeah, well, essentially, like I don't want to call her a ghetto girl. Essentially, she is.
Well, no, we'll talk about that in the movie and how they fit that style of comedy
Yes,
within
yes.
the world.
Right.
Yeah, and then the four of them just work as an ensemble. Okay, to see Luke Cage in this is so goddamn funny to me.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
Especially the
hey,
context.
Look, Luke Cage.
Especially the context they put him in. Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes,
it's like,
yes,
wait,
exactly.
it's just so much coffee for him now.
Yeah, but on the subject of Luke Cage, just sorry to cut you there.
Like
Mike
Colton.
Coulter, he
Yeah,
plays the husband of Regina Hall, and essentially, they both have this brand,
Right.
pretty much like these products. I think it's culinary products, I believe it is, right? No, not culinary products, but essentially it involves cooking in a way.
Right. No. Well, what they do, right? So it's basically like a Martha Stewart type of thing. It's
Yes,
related
right,
to home stuff and home life now. So it's that same level of marketing style brands in the United States. That was a huge deal in the 2000s.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still a big model now, but in the 2000s that was a huge fucking deal.
Yes,
Everybody in their mother was into that, and it worked. And whoever catch that wave at the time was big. Like people like Rachel Ray and all of the cooking network type people. That
Right.
homemaker type of paradigm.
Yeah.
That's the idea. The idea is that it's a black, basically the successful black couple, power couple paradigm as a homemaker and as the general products of two of them now. He's a football player, or at least I think an ex-football player, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's just this kind of Oprah-like celebrity that just doing everything on a higher level.
Exactly. Right.
Right.
Yeah, and well, if I could just finish up for you, so Regina and her husband is they're invited to attend the Essence Music Festival in New Orleans.
Yeah.
To market this their brand, essentially, to really showcase it. And of course the Essence Music Festival, is celebrating black culture. So we have, which caught me by surprise actually, a variety of African American musical artists who show up in the film.
Yeah,
I just love these cameos,
Yeah,
when you talk about those,
make a cameo.
yes, Diddy and Mace Trend. Diddy and Mace people, come on. And of course, she decides to bring her three friends along because they haven't seen each other in a long while, so they just want to reconnect. And the film just pretty much follows them on this just these shenanigans that they just keep getting into, one wild scenario after another, while
Right.
their friendship is challenged, and all
Right.
these good stuff.
Yeah, so this was basically a mix between Bridesmaids and Barbershop.
Yes.
That's what it felt
which
like.
is,
It caters for not I would say as young as Bridesmaids, feels a little older than that, but that basically like an older, kind of catering to an older black audience that kind of was counterculture Generation X basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just older Generation X black audience, especially
Right.
for women.
And it's a good thing that you mentioned Barbershop, because he actually directed last year's Barbershop, The Next Cut, which I actually saw and really enjoyed. I really dug
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah. And well, he did a show, one of my favorite movies of his. Now he have some crap movies, but he did Undercover Brother, which is
Undercover
a
Brother, which is
really
probably
goddamn
one of the
like
best
so
parodies ever,
yeah,
parody movies ever.
so ridiculous, so well done.
You mess with the fro, you got
Yeah,
to
you
go.
know, yeah.
Like, that is a classic line, folks. Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
And the thing is with the show, a lot of it works for the most part. And I was actually quite surprised to see it get such a high score. I was like, hey, how come this guy has such a high score? I thought this would be like a kind of boring mess, you know, a boring slug that's kind of played. Now I'll admit a lot of the humor fell flat for me, frankly, but again, I'm not the target for this material. Because when I was in the theater with it, everybody was exploding over the material. Like everybody found it hilarious. I was laughing and smiling, but I wasn't like cracking up. People was loving this shit, loving like I was in the audience with a lot of women. But it was great.
Me too.
Yeah.
Every
and
time
I was
those
like,
jokes land, they were just like, kyak.
Yeah. It was people was loving it. So it's like, all right, you know, the movie did its job. And yeah, it for the most part it worked for me. As I said, it's Bridesmaid. They do the raunchy humor works somewhat. They have a sequence that's almost identical to the sequence of Key and Peele when they did when they got the drugs thing. They have a whole scene with Absinthe.
Oh, yeah.
which was pretty well done. As I said, Mike Colton and all of his scenes totally work for me. There's a scene with that's a genuinely funny scene for me because it totally works. Where the Jezebel type figure shows up.
Oh yes.
With some cooking.
Yes.
They have a whole bit with
the smoking hot Jezebel character. But yes, that particular scene with the cooking thing was
right. And they have a whole bit. They have a whole bit with sausage, which is so funny.
Yes.
Totally works. Yeah, but I had a lot of fun with this. This one worked for me. A lot of the material, and it does its job very well, very well, and it paced itself out quite well in my opinion. Not as good as Bridesmaids. I won't put it that high, but it's still pretty damn good. It's the whole female ensemble comedy thing. And well, we know one person for sure who has good history with that, Queen Latifah.
Yes.
She has, anybody you remember Living Single?
Of course.
Yes, damn good show.
Because I'm old, yes.
Yes, but no, it was a great show, and it was. Listen,
I used to really love that theme song though.
Yeah, kick-ass show. But it was a great show on its own, and I'm gonna straight up say it. Friends rip off that show. Friends.
I thought. Wait, did Friends come out
Living Single
before? Did it?
Nope. No, it
okay.
didn't. Living Single came out before. Right? Look it up.
All right.
It's the same show.
I didn't know.
Yeah, Friends. I don't think Friends came out before. Living Single. Sorry, Friends rip off Living Single.
I see.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Whatever.
by the way, on the subject of that, this slight little interjection here. We are going to get a music video from none other than Jay-Z, because he's been putting out videos like every week since the album came out. We're gonna get one for Moonlight, and from what I'm hearing is that they're gonna be, it's basically a black version of Friends that they're gonna do.
No, I saw that. I saw that debate there now, because somebody making a joke of, well, they should make a joke of that.
Yeah. So it's
I
funny
saw
that
that.
they mentioned the whole Friends.
I saw Issa Rae and a bunch of like young black celebrities in that.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a little clip thing, but I didn't see the whole thing.
Right. All right. Okay, so I will just jump into my thoughts on the film. I agree with you for the most part. This is a very, 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 very entertaining film. This surprised me as well. Like at first, I just thought it was just gonna be like, that was fun, but I did not expect to really laugh as much as I did. Like it wasn't gut busted for me. I wasn't like cracking up and making a lot of noise as a majority of the women did when I saw the film. But like I said, it's to a particular audience. It's mostly geared towards women. But that's not to say that it's men can't watch it and gain something out of it. Like I watched it and I was like, well, okay, I understand that this is a joke for women, but I still find it particularly funny, and that's why I laughed at it.
But that's the thing, it didn't. I mean, I really put myself there in that kind of way, like as if they have jokes that only women would like or something like that. That's kind of nonsense. But the point is, what it does that is somewhat novel is just the idea of raunchy comedy for black women.
Yes.
Because, like, sorry to say it, black women have a big image problem in the United States. That's a thing. Right? We could argue to what degree that is, but I think that image problem is very, very real.
Yeah.
However, just so to embrace it in this way and to make it work in the material, it totally works. As you know, is for reasonably successful women, black women in particular. They get into the whole paradigm of black girl magic. By the way, Ava DuVernay has a cameo, which is cool.
Yes.
I thought that was nice.
Well, okay. Well, on the subject of cameos, I really didn't expect this amount of cameos in this film. So
Yeah.
I saw Neo, I saw Maxwell, I saw Mariah Carey, I saw Diddy and Mace together. Mace performing one of his best songs ever, Bad Boys.
Yeah,
I was like, yes, all right.
It's a real Generation X shit, eh?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna straight up say that it's totally for Generation X audience.
Of course.
But
Common was there, and the thing is, like, when I was watching these scenes, these musical performances, I was telling myself, like, in the back of my mind, I was telling myself, oh yeah, even Faith Evans making an appearance here. Faith Evans now, you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, but the first appearance, guys, just slight spoiler, New Edition. And like, when I seen the New Edition,
yeah,
and if you remember from the BT Awards, they performed.
They really cater to that music people who was in the 90s.
Exactly.
In the beginning, they have the whole when they was introducing them, it's like, oh, that's the kid and play dance. So
yeah, and he was playing Chuck Rock's Treat Me Right.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But you know, like, in the back of my mind, I was telling myself, okay, clearly they trying to aim for this BT audience, though, this BT/centric audience now, with the musical performance that they have. So like, you have Common performing The Light, which is one of his best songs ever, but of course that's a love song, and people argue, yeah, that was a love song for Erykah Badu because they were together at the time. And having Maxwell on stage.
The very weird witch woman that is Erykah Badu. Every time she make a boyfriend, the boyfriend has changed.
I know, right? So
yeah,
when Erykah Badu was with Andrew 2000, he changed.
You know,
Common was with her, he changed. You know?
This weird witch power she have.
Yeah, but it's called soul, man. It's called soul.
You know, that's cracked me up, dude. Just to see the list. It's like a list of boyfriends.
Yeah, I think even G Electronica.
That why I studied.
Like, both of them was together, and I was like,
that why I studied.
Okay, why not hearing a love song from him now? You know.
You know.
Yeah, but but like those songs that they perform, it felt like these are the kind of songs, like, if I put on Centric right now, you know, every once in a while they would have like, you know, music videos from the past.
Yeah.
Like, if a Centric or BT to extent or VH1 Soul, you would hear a Maxwell song, you would hear Neo's,
right,
All Because of You, which is what he performs in that song.
Yeah, and we going through. It's interesting that we going through this a kind of weird, you know, revitalization of that culture, because especially with all this weird news coming out about R. Kelly and Usher, especially.
Yeah, boy. Although to be honest, I'm not following up on that Usher thing. I
but
think
there's a little zeitgeist thing going on right now with R&B from the 90s and 2000s in particular.
Right.
You know, stuff that's coming back. And again, it's just all of those people that's coming of age now in terms of success, and, you know, they're in the early 40s, you know, mid to, you know, early to late 30s, early 40s now.
Yeah. So Usher have more confessions. Yes, I gave these girls
you know,
STDs.
You know, gross. So disturbing.
Yeah, boy.
So it's time to tear them down now. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'll say it is that those songs, this kind of cater to that sort of BT-centric vibe now, where it's about, you know, loving being a woman and being an African-American woman, and loving these love songs and loving yourself and all that kind of thing. That kind of female empowerment, whether it's through music or from just the performances themselves. And right off the bat, I loved the chemistry between all four actresses. But I felt that the person who stole the show the easiest was Tiffany Haddish. Going into this thing, I had no clue who she was.
Yeah, I didn't know she was.
After that, I was like, yo, she killed it.
She took over.
Every scene that she was in, she just made it hers. She stole every sequence that she was in. She just gave, you know, line after line after line, and it was so raunchy, so expletive leading, but you were just laughing. You just can't wait. Like, when I was watching, I just couldn't wait to see some kind of remark or something like that.
Right.
She made the show for me, for one thing.
Yeah, they make it work she made it really, really work. There
that
in
kind
that
of
sense, because
ratchet kind of, or
that's
sort
the
of
thing.
independent ratchet girl character that she kind of create. Wow.
No, but they balance it. They balance it well, because again, you know, you have to put a character in a workable light, she have to be the ratchet gangster type,
Yes.
quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. But you was thinking, boy, gone ready, make she look bad, and I'm gonna be cringing at how, bad this black woman looking, and this
and how
she's
she just
that
trying to be
character.
so sexualized with the
Right,
dialogue and
right.
like,
And
but
I really
what?
thought it would have been obnoxious, and they put it's done very well in the context of the film, in my opinion. Right? Again, as I say, it's difficult to make the hamburger. You can't make the Big Mac. That is how to make the Big Mac.
Yeah.
Right? How to balance the material and make it work for an audience that you want to cater to.
Right.
It's a mass audience. Like, this is a total popular mass, and I kind of consider these the quote-unquote white telephone movies for Black America, for the most part. That's how it feels. It's just a great image for Black people that a lot of Black Americans not live in. Sorry. And that, so I actually like the fact that they put her in this light where she's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They open up with her being ridiculous where she gets fired from a job in the most silly way. But it's not
funny,
done.
by the way.
Was that? Yeah, that was a pretty good scene, but it's not done tastelessly.
No.
Given the context of what they want to do, and again, it's all black girl magic, blah blah blah, but they made it work.
Yeah. And I like how she balanced off with in particular Jada Pinkett Smith's character, Lisa.
Right.
Because she used to have a time with her son, but now she's like this is she a stay-at-home mom? Well, at least that's the impression I got. But she has 2 kids. Haha, get it?
Right.
And it's just her trying to open up, because even Regina and Queen Latifah's characters encourage her to open up, because they are going out and they're having fun. So be as wild and crazy as you want to. But she's like, oh no, I have to be at bed at this time, and it's actually true. The other characters, especially Tiffany's character, where she really opens up, and the way how she does is quite hilarious. There's this one ziplining scene, that's all I'll see is see it in the trailer, but the way how that scene continues, yes, is every bit as vulgar and R-rated as you expect it, but my god, is it hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, the chemistry and the dialogue between all 4 actresses I thought were excellent. Even right now in the Queen Latifah, I thought that she was going to be like the least interesting character, but they had some particularly great moments with her, and even this nice little piece of tension with her and Regina. I'm not gonna say what happened.
They made a nice little sub arc with her. And what they did with that, I thought that was very clever, how they handle it in the script now. Again, solid script writing. This is how you're supposed to make your Big Mac.
Exactly.
It's not a brilliant film. It's not meant to be, it's in transfer to 4 anytime, right? Look, that's not the point. Point is, the idea is to have a structured story and make it work for its audience.
Exactly.
Right? And it totally works for its audience.
Yeah. Even with the raunchy humor, because yes, this show is raunchy.
Yeah.
It's not obnoxious. It's just this really adult humor, but done in such this really wild, outlandish way.
Right.
That you can't help but laugh at it.
I'll say if anything, that is probably the weak link in the movie. But again, you have to know how to tone it for your audience, because you can't have it truly raunchy for guys like me. I'm the kind of guy that you have to real come good to get me with your humor. You have to come really, really innovative. So you kind of saw a lot of the bits coming.
They came dangerously close though.
No, not really. Not for me.
Okay.
I thought a lot of it, because a lot of the humor is telegraphed a mile away, and I think a good bit of all the big stuff was sold out in trailer. So I suspect that was a big factor. But no, a lot of the jokes was kind of telegraphed for me. A lot of the big raunchy moments. So okay, this gonna happen because this character gonna do this, that, and then this gonna happen. You can kind of see it coming for me. For me at least. But again,
I'll agree with you there. Yeah.
Right, but again, for the target audience, which is I just think the straight up demographic for this is black older women. I could imagine a lot of women would join us, and I had a lot of evidence of that, because I saw these women just really laughing at this stuff.
Yeah,
I, the perpetually ironic and cynical man, won't laugh at it and won't find it that engaging. But I totally get your audience. As I say, humor needs to be orthogonal. That's the thing with humor. It don't have to be this absolute standard. It has to cater to what you're aiming to your audience, and that it works.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it just has to do one thing, and one thing only: make us laugh, and make us not feel bad for laughing. Like, I'm not gonna feel bad because I laughed at that zipline scene. It was a genuinely funny scene.
Right.
Yes, it may offend some people, but oh gosh, you're not gonna go into this thing expecting some kind of like really snotty upper class kind of humor. It is what
Right.
it
No.
is, but not to the point. Like this is not Wayans brothers,
Right.
deprecating kind of humor. There
Right.
is
Exactly.
a level of intelligence and wit. That's the word I'm looking for. There's wit into this wit in this film, and
And
that's
then,
what works.
just before we move on, another big problem I had in this movie. The character had a huge problem with this character, just more annoying and more than anything. And that has to be McGill. I love her in Private Practice. She was really good in that show. I like that show. But I really hated her in this Kate Walsh.
Oh yes, because she
Oh
was doing
boy.
the same. I'm white and let me talk black, and
Dread,
even
that
one
was
scene where
real.
Regina
Like, I
Supper,
get that was part of the
yeah,
bit.
and I like the
but,
part where Regina Supper and say,
right.
"Look, you don't need to be doing this. Don't
But
do
no,
it,
but
please." Yeah,
I think here's what I think I had the problem with. I think it was miscast. The character, she didn't work, and because I know her from shows that she's supposed to be this big, like better, established character, the character didn't work, and I loved her in Private Practice in particular.
right.
I
She was also
never
in
really
13 Reasons Why, by the way. Just remember that.
All right, right,
Yeah.
all right. I didn't see that yet.
You need to. You need to.
The thing is that like I never really get into Grey's Anatomy, but I thought Private Practice was actually well done. And to see Kate Walsh as a character who I always do a stoic and so on, so but to see her in this playing this dumb character in this way, like yeah, she didn't work. A lot of what she did fell flat for me. And again, I could imagine some women was laughing at some of the scenes in the movie,
Yeah.
but yeah, again from the audience I was in, kind of fell flat as well. Seemed to be because she had a scene
There
where
was one particular scene during the such a scene where I felt she was trying to be funny with her remarks, but it was like, no, that's not funny at all.
no, it had that right. So the part where they say bar girl, it had a part for that.
Right.
That was the scene that's supposed to be, and some people kind of laugh. But to me, she didn't work at all. Again, I think it's not because it's her. It's the miscast. I think she was miscasting it. They should make the character younger, go with a younger person, have a younger actress for it, so you would get a sense of working authority with working with her now.
Right.
In the career now, because I get she's supposed to be her, like what she is. She is the what's called that, like a not an assistant, but she's like the agent essentially.
Yeah.
She's the agent, kind of, but linking it to the company and making sure she get big deals, kind of thing. So I get that she would be the same age as Regina's character, but I don't know, it would go younger to make the role work better.
Like,
so,
like something like a Aubrey Plaza, if you will, to
right.
to
But the idea is that
character in
she's supposed to
Parks
be
and
white.
Recreation. Right.
She was supposed to be the white dummy, but you can't have an older woman being the white dummy. Or at least a woman at their age. You have to have a young
Good point. Yeah.
You have to have a young person. That to me, that again, we just talking about how the sausage is made, and yeah, that's the only part of it that didn't work.
All right.
Yeah.
To me, the drawback to it is that because this film clocks in at roughly 2 hours.
A little
and 2
too
minutes.
long.
I find it was a little too long, man. And one thing I do like the fact that they were brave enough to go into dramatic territory. Even though
right.
if you're familiar with African American comedies, you kind of know it's going to lead you anyway. Like if you see like The Best Man Holiday and Barbershop and those kind of shows, you know it's going to veer into that territory anyway.
Right, yeah, that dress a little black some.
Yeah, at times it kind of makes the film overall feel kind of conventional. Like yes, we having fun, we laughing and all these crazy stuff, but when you turn back, that's when you have to stop. Then we have to bring a seriousness.
About
now
2
when
seconds,
the friends break up, and then something will happen, and then they go come back together, and yada yada yada. You've seen it before, yes, but I will let that slide. Because of just how much fun I was having, but I kind of knew it was going to happen.
Right.
But it's just the length. It really becomes a little turn off to you because of how long it is. If the film wasn't that long, then I would not have been kind of like.
I myself would have trimmed some time from that. Like there's not too much time. Like a good 20 minutes, not too much. Just 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. This thing again is how much you say in terms of time, but I say also in terms of the general structure of how serious you should play it. Again, because the movie was so normal, but it was well made normal. I didn't mind a lot of that. That's why I could understand why it gets the points over something like Rough Night. For what I understand, Rough Night was just lazy and then try. This one had structure. Right. It's still bland. It's still straightforward blandness, but it does what it needs to do well and for its audience. And that's where that's why I understood. I understood why it got the points it did and why I surprisingly enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, this show. Well, just to get a rated here, this show
Yeah.
isn't groundbreaking in any
No,
sense
no,
of the
yeah.
word.
Yeah.
It's not like the most original or innovative comedy you'll ever see, but for a year where we got all these kind of bland and uninteresting and unmemorable comedies to begin with,
Yeah.
this one really stands out to me
Look,
in my honest opinion. I could easily say I'll easily agree with certain critics who say this is probably the funniest movie of 2017. I'll agree with
right.
them. I actually see that. I don't
Yeah.
see this being in like a top 10 or anything like that. But as
Right.
far as comedies go, yeah, this is a hit for me.
Yeah. It for me it worked as well. I'm gonna give him a rating now.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I gonna give this a movie tongue.
Okay, well done.
Yeah, so that's a solid movie tongue. It works. It's worth your money in that sense, and yeah, you should go out and go to see it. I did see this in movie tongue, so
Okay,
it was worth it. I enjoyed it. It again, it's a kind of unfortunate preface, but I should give it as I say, it is for its audience. It caters to that audience as well. Clearly not made for mainstream America, and a movie like that wouldn't work anyway. I'll admit it's probably because of the race element. But for the most part, the movie works, and it's catering to that Black Yale Magic audience. That's
yeah,
what it's
of course, yeah.
right, and especially a generation Xers who really now starting to get to the point of power in society and starting to get to the point of influence in society. You're starting to see a confluence of events. And this is one of those movies that's important in that way. As I say, I won't go as far as saying it's a Tyler Perry kind of nonsense, which I would argue is more step back in terms of American cinema
Right.
for black audiences, but it works, and I enjoyed it.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
for me, I will give this a light 4 out of 5 stars. This is definitely one to see on the big screen, just especially with a packed audience. This is one you have to watch with a packed audience. I know some people like to go and they only have 2 people so they can laugh down the whole place, but
Right.
this is not that type of movie. This is one, and it's not like the people laughing for you. You are laughing with them. You know,
Right.
it's that type of show. There's no way you can walk out of it saying, well, that much, blah, 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 whatever, you know. I would confess I wasn't on the floor laughing. It was like gut bustingly humorous for me.
Oh,
But
that's
there
fine,
were
yeah.
moments that genuinely had me in stitches. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I want. I
it
want
worked.
that. That's what I expect in a comedy. That's why I'm always so hesitant to go and see comedy movies in cinema, because I don't want to walk out saying, well, I didn't laugh as
No,
much
but-
as I wanted to, you know?
Yes, another reason why I like this more than the others comedies, because it didn't rely on the improv bullshit too much.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
You got a
yes.
sense of flow.
Very good point.
You got a
yes.
sense of flow into the comedy, set pieces, making that work. You see this whole it have way too many goddamn comedies that doing that bullshit.
Baywatch.
Where yeah?
Baywatch.
Well, Baywatch is like a weird beast, but the one I was thinking of is with Aubrey Plaza when they went to Hawaii.
Mike and Dave
that-
need
that-
dates that
Yeah,
bullshit, right?
yeah, that one. And yeah, that was like the most extreme example. That was like the quintessential example of that
By the
shit.
way,
now.
by the
Where
way, by
it's
the way,
like-
by the way, there's a book for that show. Like,
Why?
I don't know. Like, after Girls Trip, swear to God, right? I was just killing some time. So I went by this bookstore and I see this paperback version of Mike and Dave Need Dates or any naming shows. I'm like, why?
is the movie is a novelization of the film.
Whatever it is, but I believe so. But why?
Yeah, I doubt it's a book. What people do is novelize films. People novelize everything
I
now.
know, but why that?
So it's a novelization of the film.
But
most
what-
likely.
okay,
It can't be
okay.
like who go write a fucking
Okay,
book for that?
but
Whoever.
why novelize that particular movie?
No, that's just a general industry. Like any movie, more or less any movie that could afford to do it will pay somebody to do it.
Okay,
yeah, I don't get-
even
it's just
dumb
a big-
comedies. Okay, I didn't know. I just thought this for
Yeah, everything.
like,
It don't matter.
you know.
It don't matter what it is. Everything that could get novelized will novel. That's a whole part. That's a whole subsection industry, cottage industry by
Right.
itself. That's make a
I just
lot of
thought
shit.
it was
And-
for stuff with drama in it, like a horror or a thriller or
No,
action.
like anything that is anything. Because what they'll do is sometimes they'll have something based on a book novelize the film. Like World War Z, they have a novelization of the film, which is so stupid. You know? But yeah, they just do that. They do that
Right.
all the time. They do that all the time. They'll make a novelization of the film. It's really
Okay,
dumb.
but back to your
Whatever.
point. Yeah.
Right, yeah, no, I forget the original point I was making. Oh no, right, so Mike and Dave, right. Yeah, it was one of those that, just this improv stuff, and you're not writing a script, or you're doing some incredibly half-assed script, and then you just depending entirely on the actors to play off of each other because they're already comedy geniuses. Like, no, stop that
Of
bullshit,
course.
right? That stuff is so obnoxious. it's jarring. It only relies on shock humor. Even though this movie commits one of those crimes of the shock humor thing, which is showing a male's penis.
Yes.
All of that is well done. It's clever. I thought it's actually pretty funny and caught me off
But
guard.
it is rated
all
R for
these
graphic nudity, yes, so I went in kind of expecting something like that to happen, but when it happened, I was like, oh, it
Right.
just caught me off guard now.
But I would like to do the whole showing a penis thing. Whoa, it's a penis. You know, that's
if you see how the woman react to that, boy, holy shit.
Right. But in this film, it was kind of funny and it made it work. But
funny,
in most of the others, in most of the others, it'd be terrible. And it's like, oh, that is it? Okay, you shocked me. All right, thank you. Thank you for shocking me. You're clever.
Yeah.
You're funny. No, enjoy your applause. Go away. You're getting real fed up with it. And I'm really glad that this film had some workable structure to it.
Yes.
That's what I enjoyed about
characters
this. Comedies with structure.
Care about, by the way, before I forget,
right.
You care for
Not
these women. You love them. You want to be around them even more, even when the film ends. You just love them.
Instead of 3 to 6 unlikable douchebags in these comedies now. I just getting tired of really lazy comedy writing. That's I think my problem with films. And this film didn't really have that. This film had a story. It worked. And it catered to its audience very well. It cleverly knew how to mask its mistakes now and its problems, and did that very well. That's about it.
All right. So Ricardo, where can we find you online, man?
Passat RMEDY on Twitter. That is Ampersat MDY on Twitter, at RMEDY on Twitter, and then you can just type in my name, Ricardo Medina, on Facebook and find me there. You should be good.
All right. You could also find me on Twitter. Just look for Legally Black MJB and capital letters. You could also find me on Facebook. Just look for my name, Matthew Bailey, along with Illegally Black official fan base, where you find a link to this podcast here, as well as the one that we've done before, and of course my written reviews. And also in terms of the Cutlass, feel free to search for my review. Just look for the Cutlass Was the Scene review. Feel free to leave a comment or two on YouTube, and by all means, if it does show in your area, give it a look. You may like it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but as I said, I wouldn't tell people to go outright not go see it or anything like that. I don't think I have any animus for anybody involved in the film. Although I look through all of the credits to find out who I don't like. But
I don't like that extra.
Yeah,
that extra. I don't like him enough.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
Hey, I see your name somewhere. I don't like this. No, but go see it. I recommend it still as well, even though it's quite bland for me. Don't skip it. Give it a chance. Give it a chance to shine. Even though the movie has a little bit of bullshit going on with respect to its place in Cannes. That kind of annoying. What I found out.
But let me hush my mouth with that, because I don't know. I understand the game.
That
right.
Whatever. Moving on.
So stuff to look forward to before we part ways.
Boy oh boy, we have a bunch of shit.
Well, there's the Dark Tower.
Dark Tower, right? I heard that's a mess.
I heard it's a mess, but I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
I'll give it a chance.
Check it out. Maybe I don't know.
I'll go see it. I'll go see it.
I had to motivate myself to see. Probably I will. I can't really guarantee for sure.
Atomic
Blonde. We still had to wait a good while for that.
Right, but I'm somewhat excited for that somewhat. I just want to see what they do, because I want to see what they do with the material and how to make it work. Somebody made a great joke. I forget who it was. I think it's this fellow on Twitter. He made a joke. He said how Atomic Blonde is much more awesome if you think it's a prequel to Mallory Archer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
funny as hell. I was like, oh yeah, that's a really great moment.
Like before Archer was born, she was boom.
Right. Yeah.
A trailer, a movie that I didn't even know about until I saw the trailer yesterday. Armed Response, starring Wesley Snipes from WWE Studios. And as I mentioned last week, with if they're gonna include a wrestler, why did they include a wrestler in Slight? In this one here, we have a wrestler. His name is Seth Rollins, or like he calls himself Seth freaking Rollins. Yes, he is in this movie. And I saw, like, oh gosh, you had to play him in this.
I get the feeling. That
again with WWE Studios and the action flicks though.
Right. No, I get the feeling that this gonna be drinking some beers with this one.
I'm actually gonna check that out. That will be a nice show to watch alongside Dark Tower.
Yeah, here's the thing, it's not gonna be Stag, it's gonna be a Polar.
Oh,
some cheap ass shit. I feel like I'm gonna get drunk for Dark Tower as well. I get the feeling.
Yeah, boy.
It gonna be one of them hot mess now.
Yeah. A show that I well, here's the thing. If I was going to see it, I'll get drugged to it, but I'm not gonna see it. Annabelle creation. Don't care.
Yeah, skipping that
See,
bullshit.
Conjuring.
Skipping that
You
bullshit.
see The Conjuring. Anything with the words The Conjuring, cool.
Yeah.
Things with the words
Right.
with the name Annabelle,
Annabelle.
no. I didn't watch the
Bullshit.
first film. I don't care to see this one.
Goddamn can't
I
stand
saw
that
the
bullshit.
trailer for it finally because I was always avoided. I saw it on big screen. I was like, yeah, the jump scares here and there. That scene with the girl when she's leaning over the world, I was like, oh, two hands gonna pull her down, right? Two hands gonna pull her down, right? Even though they threw Annabelle down the well, right? And what you know,
Yeah, so
two
that's
hands come and
dumb.
pull the girl down. Yes.
So much
Another
nonsense.
trailer that I saw for the first time, and I hear real bad things about the movie is Kidnap with
Right, with Halle
Oscar
Berry.
winner
Yeah.
Halle Berry.
You know?
Remember when she won an
Now
Oscar
here's the
back
thing.
in 2001?
Okay, before we move on, before we move on to that, somehow, Annabelle Creation currently has a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Somehow.
Somehow. So like find out why that's the case. Because that's talking like some
Yeah,
bullshit.
I think it's just that the real or like it didn't have that much screenings, I guess.
Well, I gotta check this out now because like that's talking like some real bullshit.
Yeah, I look at it now actually. There's no way that show could be that good, Jed. No.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, but I hear real bad things about this particular show, about Kidnap actually. Some people say this probably
Right.
one of the worst movies of the year as well. So yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
No, well, I see it. Now I see it. Think worse than that. Well, Emoji Movie is supposed to be the
Of
worst
course,
from
yeah.
others.
And you know, like we said last
Yeah.
week, we're not gonna watch that. We don't care.
I'm not gonna watch it. I reached the point with that. My attitude was, if you're giving them people money, you're part of the problem.
Yes, exactly.
You're giving them people. Oh, so a couple of things I really hope that could come down is Valerian and the City of 1,000 coming.
You know, it
That came?
could have come for the summer, but I think
Yeah, why?
because
You
we're
get to see that?
so bitchy when it comes to box office receipts there. So if a show is a flop in the States, we probably wouldn't get it down here, which is weird.
Right.
But why we couldn't
And
get
then,
Valerian though? Like we could have gotten this since
Right,
last
I
week,
wanted to see
since-
Valerian
since,
as well.
Since July, but I doubt we're gonna get that, unfortunately.
Right. And then the movie I really hope come down for a little short while is Detroit.
Yeah, me too. I hear
Very excited for that.
kind of
But
so reviews of it, but I think that's
no, I
actually
had
better
solid
than,
reviews
than,
for it overall.
than some people claim it is. I think it's because it flopped now, so people kind of say,
Right.
well, maybe
And
they
then,
missed the point and blah blah blah. I don't know. I doubt it.
Right. No, but from what I understand, it is. I hear it's pretty good for who the usual people I respect like
Right.
it. So I was like, okay, cool. That's the general people who just talk about movies, and I tend to like their opinions. They all of them like it so far, and I want to see it. I hope they don't do pull some bullshit like a 1 week nonsense.
Oh,
And I catch it on by luck now. That
Yeah,
nonsense, which I really goddamn hate.
I really hope not.
However.
Too, but I would love to see it down here though. I doubt it, but
Yeah.
it'd be great if we could get that there.
Yeah, if a quick movie tongue 2 weeks, I could enjoy that if it was anything.
And
But
finally,
it's not okay.
before I forget, like as I mentioned last week, the Hitman's Bodyguard. Again, really fed up
Yes.
of that trailer, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson. What's the worst that could
Yeah.
happen? Haha. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Just
Right. I expect that to be fun. I expect to enjoy it. I really hope it does what it's supposed to do.
yeah.
And yeah, I expect it to be funny at work. So
Yeah,
we'll
we've
find out.
gotten some great action comedies over the years, like Kingsman, of course, which the sequel is coming out next month.
Yeah.
So I kind of
Yeah.
hoping that I get a kind of Kingsman kind of vibe where it's like real
Right.
hard action, but you have this great humor.
Yeah. When is Kingsman 2 coming out?
Next month.
Right. Yeah. All right. I'm excited for that too. Now should be hyped
Yeah.
for that.
Same
Cool.
here too. All right, so that's pretty much about it. So once again, guys, good morning, good
Yeah.
afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen to this. This was Match Bailey and
Ricardo Medina.
we are signing off from another episode of Bears Beats and Bailey. So until the next one, guys, take care. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.